What up? What up? Whoa, what in the world? I am here
Man,
by myself.
I decided I'm quitting today. I'm gonna let you do this shit on your own today, dog.
You just gonna leave? You gonna leave me out here? You gonna leave me out here stranded, right? Hey, don't worry, don't worry. I'll be good. Sometimes you just gotta handle things on your own. You know what I mean? Sometimes.
Yes,
Well, what's
sir.
up,
Yes, sir.
everybody? Welcome to another week. As y'all see, Jamal is about to walk out on today's episode. But he is here and he gonna be here. But so today we're gonna, of course, go over the recap of the checker flag. But of course, as we said, we got to pay the bills. So make sure that y'all stop by chulawear.com. We are in mid-season, so anything you need: shorts, trunks, bodybuilding trunks, robes. As Jamal said, those Chula flip flops. Those socks, whatever you need. Like I said, it sounds like a read, but it is not. Go over to chulawear.com.
It is
Use those.
totally a read. We got the prompt right here.
But go over to chulawear.com. Use those codes eShell10 or Carolina Muscle. Make sure you get that good old family discount from your two favorite hosts. But man, I'm excited because we're going to talk about what happened last weekend, and we're also going to talk about what's going to happen this weekend, dude. Like this is a great month for bodybuilding, or second month for bodybuilding, because we just left No Gear in May, but now we're in June. So man, let's get into it. Checkered flag, man. Once again, you was behind the camera. You saw everything.
A little
Little
bit,
bit,
not much.
little bit, little bit,
A little bit of something, something.
little bit. But let's talk about Daytona. Daytona is crazy. I've never been to Daytona, and Daytona is a beautiful place. So Masters athletes, if y'all never been to Daytona and want to go to a great show, I would definitely check out the checker flag, especially if you haven't been to Florida or Daytona. So, so thoughts on the show, man? What's your thoughts on the show?
Man, thoughts on the show, man. I think it was a great show. You had Masters men's physique, you had Masters bikini. Let's just take it back. The hotel, the check-in process.
Nice.
Great hotel, man. Beautiful hotel. It had little race cars and stuff in there. The check-in process seemed flawless. You was at check-ins. I don't think there was any hiccups at check-ins. Jenny had the little pro boxes for the pros or whatnot. I don't know what was in there, but the boxes looked pretty cool. It had their names on them and whatnot, so custom boxes. I did get one of the little duffel bags in the shirt, so thank you, Jenny, for that.
I ain't getting one of those.
But yeah, the check-in process, like I said, it looked flawless. It's also great, going to different places and meeting different athletes.
Yeah.
Apparently I'm not going to say we're all over the place, but people know us from this show or whatever. So that's usually when they come up to us and talk to us about, let's talk about it. So, that's always a cool thing. The venue, man, the venue was great.
It was hot.
What happened?
It was hot.
Oh yeah. So the venue was hot, and I know that was out of Jenny's control. She can't control. But I heard the AC kick back on later. I guess after we left. But yes, it was hot in that thing. Toast.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the one thing, and this was out of her control too. Like, I don't want to put too many negative things out there, because overall the show was great. The portion I see was great, but the lighting. She asked about the lighting, and it was like, oh, that's all we can do right now. So the lighting could have been better, in my opinion. But yeah, man, let's get into the actual show now, because you were there coaching.
Oh, y'all want to go over the bikini winners and stuff? Or I don't get to say on the show? I don't get to critique this shit? No, like, hey, really. She did have the major shout out to Jenny. Because I always say, like, whenever there's a great idea, I love to see promoters. I love to see people put that stuff in motion. She did have a hospitality table in the back. It had like cookies, it had snacks, treats, all that stuff in the back. Waters for the athletes. So major kudos to Yenny having that stuff back there, because I may or may not have stopped by that table. I'm just saying, but it was a great table, nonetheless.
See, that's what we can't take you nowhere. You eating the athlete's food, bro. You did not compete that day.
But yes, first let's go over the bikini winners, because there were three. I have them right here. So coming in third place was Brittany. Coming in second place was Chantel, and then I actually have the picture of the winner, and it is Charlena Bucko or Bucco.
Lord.
I got your name right on one of those two pronunciations. But make a shout out to her for taking home that 1,500. She looked absolutely great or absolutely phenomenal at the show.
Right.
Major shout out to her. So you can go ahead and speak about the other pro class, men's physique.
Oh, he's too proud to speak on men's physique now. All right, men's physique. It was a Masters lineup. To me, the Masters brung it. Incredible lineup. So, in third place, I hope I get his name right. You didn't prepare me for this, so thank you for that, Jose.
Yeah,
I think is his name. Well, I know Jose. He actually talked to me at check-ins. I met him or whatnot. So he ended up getting third place. Your second place was Desario. He's the current Euro Cup champion, two-time Euro Cup champion. He got second place. And of course, first place is your client, David Jones.
well, you said it like you announcing a boxer or something, man. What's that about?
Hey, just giving the man his props.
Gotcha. But yeah, man, I was super excited to coach David to this show. We went into it just like, hey, let's bring our best. I think we've been playing this show since last year. It was one of the ones on my radar. But I also don't want to tell the story, so it's no secret. Let's go ahead and bring the man on. So bring it to the stage, David Jones.
Hey,
What's going on?
Y'all play all day. This is what y'all do. Y'all play all day.
What's going on, dog?
Tell us what's going on. What's going on?
Hey, ain't nothing, man.
It's great to have you on, brother. I felt like I just talked to you this weekend, man.
Bro, we just talked 5 minutes ago. But it's glad to be here. I'm glad to be here, man. Y'all finally got me on. I guess I'm cool enough now to come on the show after like years of y'all having it.
You finally won the show, so now.
Bro, this is not my first win. Don't do that. Don't do that, bro.
But yeah, let's just go straight into a few questions because we wanted to recap, and of course we are speaking from it from a spectator standpoint. Of course, I want you to walk us through your experience with the polygraph, the check-in process, the actual show. I mean, we always say it's one thing of watching, but it's another one of participating.
Yeah, man, it was flawless. Honestly, from the poly to the hotel. The hotel was super dope. Check-in process was super easy, man. No hiccups at all. Yeah, I mean, it was a solid show.
You know he's media trained, so he's going to give you direct answers, Jamal. So you got.
I didn't ask a question yet, dog. Like,
I'm waiting for you. You had a long pause, so I was waiting for you to go.
I thought you was gonna say something else.
Oh yeah, no. All right. So when it came to, let's just talk about. It's no secret about we competed last week at No Gear, right?
There we go. There we go. That's what I want to hear. There we go.
It's no secret that we competed last week at No Gear,
right?
And you know, we got our place in last week of I think 14 year class.
Uh-huh.
So I want you to go through the process of your mentality from last week to this week to ultimately come out and get a win this week and not letting last week affect your mentality.
Yeah, I mean, after Saturday was done, it was over, right? And it's back to the drawing board. There's nothing I could do about the placement that I received on Saturday. Just like there's nothing I could do about the placement that I received on 2 Saturdays ago. I mean, two days ago, right? So like my philosophy, I mean, again, I'm a former football player, man. I played in the league. So like as a DB, it's the mantra is like next play. Whether you have a good play or whether you have a bad play. If I would have won No Gear, I still would have had the same mentality going into checkered flag. You know what I mean? Like my preparation is always, even if you're a winner, what can you get better at? How can you improve and take that into the plan immediately, right? Like on Sundays, we play a game. Monday, we watch game film. Like whether we win or lose, Monday, we watching game film. Wednesday, we already putting in planning for the next week, right? Like we watch the film, win or lose, this is what you did well. This is what we didn't do well. and this is what you got to do this week so we don't make the same mistakes as we did last week. So I mean, that's just my mentality, and everything I do is like next play.
I'm just taking notes because you inspire me in so many ways. So
Bruh.
next play mentality. All right, you said that you played in the league, and
Right.
that means the National Football League, correct? The NFL.
Right.
Right. NFL. So David got some money.
Hey. What?
Nah, seriously though. How did you playing in the league like help you transition into bodybuilding? Did it help you transition into bodybuilding?
That's a good question, man. So yes and no, right? I think me training how I've trained and lifting weights how I've done my like for the majority of my life, and then transitioning into lifting like a bodybuilder was actually hard, right? Like when I first got my workout and I got like an hour long back day, like you don't train back. You're not doing, you know what I'm saying, lat pull downs in the NFL. You're doing explosive movements. You're doing, power clean, hang clean, squats, right? Like deadlifts and stuff like that. And so the auxiliary lifts that you do as a bodybuilder to actually train your body for aesthetics versus training your body for power, longevity, speed, power, you know what I'm saying, quickness, like those are two different ways of training. So um it was a transition, right? I think the other thing is just from a discipline standpoint. There's, being an athlete, there's routines, there's structure, there's the way you go about your day, and I think bodybuilding helped. Like that transition was easy into bodybuilding because it was sort of, you eat at this time, you lift at this time, you know what I mean? You eat again at this time, so that was kind of comparable. But in terms of like the lifting aspect, like that's very different.
As far as the discipline, and then I'll let E ask this question. As far as the discipline, is it about the same between you playing football and you bodybuilding, or do you think bodybuilding is a little bit more disciplined and strict?
I wouldn't say less or more. I would say it's different, right? Yeah, and I say it's different because the cost is higher, right? Like as a professional athlete, like if you don't do what you're supposed to do, like you costing yourself or your team money,
Right.
like in organizations, like millions of dollars. If you don't do what you tell yourself you're going to do as a bodybuilder, like you're affecting you, right? It's an individual sport versus a team sport, right? So yes, you're accountable for yourself as a professional athlete to do what you say you was going to do for your team. But as a bodybuilder, if your coach tells you to eat, you know what I'm saying, 80 grams of carbs, and you decide to eat 200, well, it's essentially on you. You know what I mean? You on mute.
I'm muted. So the weird thing is when I'm asking you questions, I'll be knowing the answer, so it's kind of pointless. But I don't think the people know. So
People
you
don't
kind
know.
of hinted at something about game film and football stuff. And the reality of the fact is you literally do that with bodybuilding.
Right,
So walk them through kind of what we did starting Monday, because we met up Monday at the gym,
right.
and walk them through what the week looked like of how you changed your look completely from, you don't have to say like macros and stuff, but what we did to change your look from Monday to literally the next Saturday.
Yeah, so obviously after No Gear, you film study, and you honestly you got to be brutally honest with yourself, and I feel like that's what's missing in this sport, right? And football, most teams watch film as a team, right? And we call it the eye in the sky. The eye in the sky don't lie. So if you didn't do your assignment in front of the entire team, like it's not, you can't blame it on nobody else, right? There's just no excuses. It's like, bro, we see you didn't make this block. We see you didn't make the tackle. We see you drop this pass. And so like there's no hiding it with, especially with so many camera angles. In bodybuilding, especially when you get off stage or you get a win or a loss, it's easy to tell yourself like, I was supposed to do this or I was supposed to do that or that didn't, you know what I mean, shake out how it was supposed to go. And I'm pissed off about that. But when you honestly and objectively watch, and you can be like, okay, cool. Like I can be better here. I can be better there. And so my mentality is like, I'm my own worst critic. You know what I mean? Like nobody's going to be harder on me than I am on myself. And that's just with anything. So if I see something and I'm like, I got to fix that. That's got to be better. And the thing that football taught me is that you don't get too many second chances. You see something that's wrong, you fix it, or you don't have a job, right? Like it's not like you get weeks and weeks to prepare, right? Bodybuilding, you see something wrong, you can take a couple of weeks off and be like, I'll sign up, you know what I mean, for another show when I get this corrected. And football is it's instant. You can morning practice, you mess this up, coach done told you needs to get it fixed. By afternoon practice, it needs to be fixed. There's no more like, oh, you get umpteen times to mess up before you know what I'm saying, like you get it right. And so that's just, I mean, not everybody is like that to try to implement immediate feedback unless it's something like the judges was like, bro, you need to gain 20 pounds of muscle. Then obviously that's not a something you can do overnight, but that's just how I think most people have to operate.
Okay. When you go back and watch game tape,
Yeah.
are you literally just watching yourself to see what you can improve, or are you going back watching people that you potentially know that you're going to go up against in the upcoming weeks or whenever it may be?
Me, honestly, because
Okay.
I can't bank on somebody else to look exactly how they gonna look the next show,
Yep.
right? Like I can only control me, right? And so bodybuilding is a game of matchups, and whoever is gonna show up is gonna show up. And so, um, yeah, I can't. I can't really focus on somebody else because what I can critique somebody else's whatever, and they can be telling themselves like this is A1. It don't need to be fixed. So like whether they do or don't like shouldn't affect the changes that I make or implement.
Okay. Let's go back to no gear. Coming off of no gear, obviously, you didn't place where you want to place.
Right.
What was the game plan with you and Eric? Like what did y'all talk about? Hey, I want to change this and this and this, or how did that conversation come about to get y'all ready for this past Saturday?
Yeah. So it's sort of similar to what you just asked, right? Like we study like me first initially, and we might take a peek at somebody else and like look at this shot here, look at how your body placement is, etc. How did you feel going into the show? Was we as sharp? We even look at like when we study in game film, we look at past shows to see like what kind of progression we've made in the trajectory. Because the goal is like for anybody, it don't matter if you like won 10 shows straight, like the 11th show, you need to be better than the last time you was on stage, right? Like, and so did we make improvements? Are we making improvements? What do we look like in terms of from the first show to the next show, or this Tuesday versus last Tuesday, or whatever the case may be? Like it's a constant comparison game, just like it is on stage. And unfortunately, like when we talk about humility in bodybuilding, right? We talk about um, you know, like accepting wins and losses. This is probably the most vain sport there is, right? Where you're standing in front of people you don't know and they telling you whether you look good or not. And you take that feedback and you try to implement it to look better. And so like when the when the vanity starts to cloud your judgment and like you take that way too far as a competitor, I think like you stray away from like the true why and what you're doing and how you're doing it. Because again, if your only job, if your only goal is to make look right, or improve this right, like I think you kind of lost the art of true bodybuilding. You know what I mean? Like I think you can be a bodybuilder without even ever stepping on the stage.
Okay. I'm kind of taking over this interview because you and E talk like all day, every day, and E's just gonna ask you questions that he already know.
Yeah.
So you said something that got my wheels spinning. So what's your why?
Yeah. So when I transitioned from the league, I didn't have the structure of football no more, right? Like it was my life was football season. Football season went in, take a couple of weeks off, back to training. Then you got mini camp. Oh, and you got OTAs, mini camp. Take a couple of weeks off, then you back to training camp, and then you right into the season. Like that was my cycle. So my body was always, for lack of not, like it was always in shape, football shape, right? Once football ended for me, and I'm talking about like from high school to college to the NFL. Once it ended for me, like it was like, man, I'm not going out there doing ladder drills this summer, right? Like I'm not about to I'm not backpedaling. Like I'm not ever putting on a helmet again and going outside and like running hills. And so like I only knew how to train like a football player. Like when I would go to the gym, I'm still in there trying to hang clean and like, you know what I mean? I'm doing squats and things of that nature because it's the only way I know how to train. And so without an end goal, without like something to look forward to, honestly, just a competition, something to like boom, the journey for me is always what it is, right? It's like I'm training because I know there's training camp. I'm training because I know there's a game, right? Like something to like, all right, I ain't putting all this work in for nothing. I'm like, somebody is going to like get this work. Like I got to do something at the end of this, right? Because that makes me train harder. In my mind, I'm like, all right, cool. You got a game on XYZ, like lock in. So in terms of bodybuilding, I kind of look at it the same way, right? Like I like to lock in, because I know there's a end goal in mind, whether that's a show, a date, or a show date, or whatever the case may be. So my mentality is like, yeah, it's kind of hard to explain, right? Like because everybody don't have it. It's just like an inner dog. I don't care who's
yeah
stage, right? Like and that's why, like, for me, like there's nothing that'll ever be comparable to running out of a tunnel on Sunday night, Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
No, respectfully, that is not what natural bodybuilding gives me, right? Like that's just not, it's not the same. Bodybuilding, my why, in terms of my why, like, you know, I've got two parents who aren't in the best of health, right? Like, and I'm a father. And so like my goal for changing the generation is like, I need to be able to be here when they're my age. You know what I mean? And so from a pure health standpoint, that's why I do what I do. The competition part is just like icing on the cake. You know what I mean?
All right, last question, and then I'll let E take the driver's seat back. All right, so as we know, NFL, the ultimate goal for each team is to make it to the Super Bowl, right? That's, we want to go to the Super Bowl. So for you, what's your ultimate goal in natural bodybuilding?
Yeah, so unfortunately, with football, there's an ending for everyone, right? Like no matter how great you are, you started, like there's an end.
Right.
With bodybuilding, as I mentioned, you don't have to compete to be a bodybuilder. There's no end. Like I don't have, like, the goal is to continue this lifestyle until there's no more breath in my body, right? Whether that's on or off stage. Like I want to continue to do this because, again, it's cyclical for me. The training gives me a why, right? Like it gives me a motivation, right? Like you look at somebody like Marshall, who's like 60 something years old, and I'm like, bro, it's unreal how this man looks, right? But again, I think what's more impressive is the fact that he's 65, because the 65-year-olds I know can barely walk. You see what I'm saying? And so like, it's really trying to change the narrative to say, man, it doesn't really matter how old you are. You can continue to do what you love and continue to be healthy and continue to be in shape, right? Like you control your health for the majority of like, for the most part, you control what you do and what you put in your body. And coming from the South, like being health conscious, and I grew up on yams, fried chicken, like all the good stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm a foodie. So like knowing that, when I first started bodybuilding and going around my family, and I'm like, yeah, like I'm not eating that. Like my first Thanksgiving, I'm sitting there eating chicken and rice. Was it hard? Absolutely. But again, it's showing my family. Now I come around and like, you on plan? You prepping for a show? Right? Like we got chicken and rice in the fridge. And so like just changing the narrative and understanding that being a great influence like happens when people are watching you. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just kind of like it was necessary.
Skip Bayless would say, "It's my turn."
It's my turn.
It's my turn.
It's my turn.
All right, so this has been a great episode. So, of course, I always have to bring the wild card stuff out because so I do have wild card stuff. I didn't prompt you on this. But we know it is any given Sunday, as they would say in football. So I think that's the whole running thing for the episode. Any given Sunday. So one, tell me your mentality on. You kind of gave us a glimpse of it, but what's your mentality on showing up your best each and every time you go on there? Like, what is your thought process to make that happen?
Yeah, man. I think my entire life, I've always used myself as my biggest motivation. Right. 1% better. I don't care who I'm lining up against. And if I'm talking about football, I've lined up against Hall of Famers who were phenomenal. You know what I
Talk
mean?
that talk. Talk that talk.
Andre Johnson. You know what I mean? Like, just I played in an era where like every team in the AFC had somebody that's in a Hall of Fame right now. So like, um, and coming from a D2 school, right? Like not coming from a big name school, the huge Power Five schools, like people look at you a little differently, right? Like, yo, how you here with all of us? And so my whole life has been about, all right, I can show you better than I can tell you, right? I've lined up against people who are more talented, but like my mentality is you're not gonna outwork me. You not like that's just kind of like I'm a dog, like you not gonna outwork me. You gonna quit before I quit. And I do the little things right. You know what I mean? Like the things that people skip out on, like I'm gonna do that right. And so I think that just I use that in every single thing that I do that gives me that competitive advantage, right? Um, and that's just who I am, and that competitive part is never going to go away, right? Like as long as I live, like it's embedded in me, and so if we playing spades, like I'm trying to win. You know what I mean? Like if we play as if we trying to play ping pong, like I'm trying to win.
Right.
But in the event I do lose, next play. You know what I'm saying? Like run it back, next play. So like um again, I think playing sports on the highest level teaches you how to handle losses. It don't teach you how to lose, right? But it teaches you like, hey, bro, you can if you still dwelling on a week one loss and we in week nine trying to fight for the playoffs, like you're not where we need you to be. You know what I'm saying? And so like ain't nothing you can do about that. It's over with. So yeah, man, it's just uh this is kind of my mentality.
No,
All
and
right, we're gonna. Oh, you got some more? 'Cause I had like four
yeah,
rapid
hey,
fire.
hey, no, hey, this I'm just conversating now. Now, I like when he said, like you won't outwork me because that's my whole motto, the work, right? You may out politic me, you may go whatever, and gather up a group of people in politics, but you're not going to outwork me. Like
Yeah,
that's one thing you're not going to do. So,
that's how
All
I
right.
feel, man.
yeah.
So next question. I want you to give me your thoughts on this picture. All right.
Bro, all right. Uh, my thoughts is here's my true thought, right? Uh if I'm looking at this picture and I'm being honest and not trying to have a TED talk, I think that one of the things that bodybuilding has taught me more than anything is that um this is a slow and steady race, right? And I say that because when I'm when I took that picture, I was like, this is my best look. It ain't gonna get no better than this. And then I look back at the year, like literally that was like 2022, 2023, and I'm like, bro, what? You know what I mean? And as we know, with like natural bodybuilding, it takes time. And like the grueling early morning hours, right? Like this the hunger, the chicken and rice for weeks at a time. Like it's like, oh, okay, like that's what you do it for. You do it for steady growth, you do it for steady gain, and like you see the process. Like when we're able to look back and like, hey, like we made improvements. And unfortunately, like as I mentioned, because this is such a vain sport, you don't always see what other people see, right? Like we look at ourselves and people would be like, "Man, you look great." You like, "Nah, I ain't." You know what I mean? I don't look great. And again, it's hard to kind of get out of that, but at the same time, it like, man, you need bigger this, you need bigger that, you need to make this rounder, and it's just like, man, like there's never a bodybuilder that existed that was like, bro, you don't gotta change nothing. You just got the perfect physique. You show up like this every single time and you go win. You know why that doesn't work? Because if somebody, what did Jay-Z say on J. Cole's song? There's somebody working right now. There's somebody in the lab.
Writing some shit right now.
There's somebody right now that's working, that's looking at you, whether you know it or not, and it's like, yo, I'm on it. I'm on his ass, right? Like, and so even when you win, that's why you still got to go back to the drawing board, because you got to keep that gap. Because if you don't do nothing to make any improvements, somebody's gonna catch up, right? And so like, yeah, that picture is just like, oh, okay, cool. Like it makes it all like worth it, right? Like it makes it like, because again, it's tough, because this is why you have competitors that compete one time and never compete again, right? Because there's some people who are in it for a good time, and there's some people who are in it for a long time, right? Like you have the people who win their pro card and they never do a pro show, and it's like, and that's why whys are different. I'm not saying their why is or my why is better or worse. I'm just saying it's different. If your goal is just to, I just want to train and compete for a bodybuilding show. You have people all the time. I'm sure y'all get it. Man, I want to look like you. Yeah, but you ain't willing to do what I do to look like this, right? Like, and unfortunately, like you like, man, respectfully, like you don't want this work. You say you want to look like this. It's like instant success. People's like, man, I go home, man, I could have made it to the league. And like, no, you couldn't have. Because when you was working out during the summer, you was at home playing PlayStation. Like you wasn't trying to get it. Like you wasn't. And so it's like, you see when you get to the top, like I've played with some Hall of Fame players, and like the way they practice and prepare, they weren't like super, super special, but the way that they prepared and the way that they worked, I'm like, oh, okay. Like there's pro athletes, and then inside the league, there's like, bro, you a different type of animal, right? Like you're a different, like, because again, you gotta think, when you're a pro, like everybody's good, everybody's talented. And then even inside that, you have people you've seen in bodybuilding. Like if you got your pro card or whatever, they go, oh, okay, cool. Like you was good enough to win on that day. But even inside the pro ranks, you like, bro, you different. Like you different, bro. Like, and so like, the grease is always gonna separate from the dawn. You know what I mean? And like that's a country saying, but y'all know what I mean. You gotta like, and it's just like you'll see it. Like people say they want one thing, and like, but their actions don't always align. So
I think what's killing me is I don't know if Jamal's really writing notes over here. That's what's killing me, right? So
he's not. Bro. Oh,
all right. So I do have two more questions, and I just want to talk about that last picture, because that first picture is actually our first prep together. That was your first pro win as well, down to our last pro win. And I don't think people really understand. Like I said, everybody sees the final picture, the one that's posted, the glory day, right. But nobody's seen the 3 years in between that and think that bodybuilding is just once I win, I'm going to keep winning, I'm going to keep winning, I'm going to keep winning. But the thing about you is you kept showing up over the past 3 years. And feller fall, I think you had really good placings in between, but then ultimately your day came. And I think that's the part that people needed to see. But here is the time for the controversy. I was going to name exact receivers, but I ain't going to do you like that because I know these are real friends. But rapid fire time. Bengals, Jazz, or Redskins?
That's a different answer for what you asking. You know what I'm saying? Like if you asking me, that's like. So
I don't know what he's trying to ask you.
I don't either. I don't know.
I know. Who would you? Which is your favorite? Bengals, Jazz, or Redskins?
Man, I spent the most time in Cincinnati, right? Like they gave me a shot. Ownership, coaching believed in me, so like they always got a special place for me. You know what I'm saying? Cincinnati. I've got friends from every team. And this is very similar to bodybuilding, right? You can be teammates or cordial with a bunch of people because you got to work with them, but it's only like less than a handful of people who you actually like are like genuine people, right? Like you see people at shows that are like, man, I'm a big fan of blah blah blah, but like them people are not your friends, right? Like
Right.
them, you don't know them, but like you've met people in bodybuilding that are like, nah, that's the homie, right? Like we link up outside, like we don't talk about bodybuilding at all, like that's a friend. So like each team you build relationships with, like, and I think that's different from that's one of the distinctions with bodybuilding, right? Like, actually, it's a distinction, but it's also a similarity, right? Like, we back there chopping it up with guys who you about to go on stage with and compete with, and again, you meet some really dope people. Some people are assholes too. You know what I'm saying? That comes with every situation and every job, right? But I tell people like bodybuilding isn't real life. After your show on Saturday or Sunday, bro, like you gotta go to work. You know what I'm saying? Like hopefully the sport gets there, but we're not making hundreds of thousands of dollars to support your family and household with bodybuilding. Like this is a pastime. This is a hobby, bro. Like, and so for me, like it's about perspective. Like, you really got to put this in perspective because, like, at the end of the day, like it's not that deep. But Cincinnati,
Second question, because we're in agreement with this, but this is going to rally the troops. This is the one that's going to get the comments booming.
mm-hmm.
Let me hear that top three fast food restaurants.
Bro, this is the fattest conversation I've ever had, bro. So you know what's wild? So I growing up in the South, like Greenville, pop. So I this may be made up, but this is just what I've heard. I didn't have Popeyes until I was 21 years old in New Orleans, right? In New Orleans, Popeyes. Anybody who's watching this lives in Louisiana. New Orleans Popeyes is very different from Popeyes everywhere else. New Orleans Popeyes is fire. Like it's like it's got like I don't know, they use some New Orleans seasoning in the Popeyes, but it's fire. But because I grew up on Bojangles, apparently there was this friendly agreement between uh Bojangles ownership and Popeyes that like they wouldn't be in the Carolinas. So I think Greenville, where I'm from, just got their first Popeyes maybe like 5 or 6 years ago. But nonetheless, we're talking about fast food. I'm going to go. Jack in the Box is up there. Here's why. Jack in the Box is the cheesecake factory of fast food. You can go in there and get a breakfast sandwich,
Tacos, burger, but they got everything.
you know what I'm saying? Like you can get everything from Jack in the Box. Um, Cookout is elite. Cookout is elite because again, milkshakes top tier. Cookout is elite. Um, and then like I'm gonna have to go Checkers, man. Checkers is. I have never had a bad thing from Checkers. Fries, burgers, chicken sandwiches, milkshakes. Like I've never and they food be hot. It's terrible for you, but like yeah, those are my top three.
All right. Last question. I had two, but I ain't gonna do the second one. What is your go-to dessert after this upcoming weekend?
Ooh, I got a nothing but cakes in the freezer right now. Nothing but like I'm trying to think like do I unfreeze it now so it's ready when I get back or do I just wait a couple hours when I get back to watch it like thaw? So I don't know. Or I might just go get a fresh one when I get back. I'm not unclear, undecided.
Fair. And if you guys do not know what we're talking about, we are going to definitely mention it right now. Shout out to Daryl, who's promoting the last and final Florida Pro and Florida State Natural Championships this weekend. It is going to be an amazing show. I know Team Eagle Strength will be there. Definitely competing this weekend. And I know Daryl got some tricks up his sleeve to make sure that this one goes out with a bang. I know Chula will be there as well. So I know it will be a great event. Jamal, you got anything for us?
Man, for the people that don't know, we all share a trauma bond.
Uh-oh.
Y'all don't remember our trauma bond?
Oh, yeah. DC. PG County got us.
Bro.
I'm
I'm still getting. They'll mail me and be like, "Did you find it?" No, did you find it? Like,
I'm not looking no more.
yeah.
Hey, shout out to PG County. If anybody watches,
F that. No,
bro. I'll never drive up there again, bro.
Hey, I will. You don't have to worry about me ever going back there again. Like, nah. But nah, man. I don't have anything else. That was a great episode. Yeah, man. Thanks for joining us, David. When I see you again, I'm gonna get a Bengals football from off Amazon, and I want you to sign it for me. Yeah.
Hey, post that video on the Let's Talk About It page from Walmart after this. But hey, y'all, we are running this episode long, but we appreciate y'all for watching. Like we said, David, we appreciate you for coming on because this was an amazing. It was supposed to be a recap, but it was an amazing interview, so people could definitely.
The show was fire, by the way. The show was fire. Shout out to Jenny. Like, everything was top tier, bro.
One more thing. We can't leave him out. Shout out to Mecca. I don't care where he placed that Saturday. He looked freaking phenomenal. So I hope he keeps going. I hope that don't discourage him because he looked freaking phenomenal. So shout out to you, Mecca.
Absolutely. So with that, guys, make sure y'all comment in the comments. What is your top 3 fast food restaurants? And if you disagree with Jack in the Box, because that was not on our top 3, you disagree with Jack in the Box, comment that, or what's your top 3? Leave a bunch of comments, leave some flames in the comments. But until next time, y'all, peace.